Good morning, peace and blessings. Happy Thursday. I'm the Moon Mama, having my saffron bath this morning with hyssop and a little bit of lavender. Hyssop is a Jupiter planet, a Jupiter herb. Saffron, I believe saffron is a Mars herb, but saffron gives you power, and Jupiter and hyssop is about purification. To be able to activate your faith in a more profound way. So today is Thursday, and Thursday is a Jupiter day. And Jupiter is the planet that governs our faith. Jupiter is an experience, right? Because faith, if you were raised Christian like I was, faith was like, you have to have faith. It wasn't taught like it's a faculty of your way of being, because that's what faith is. Like, faith is like your eyes. Faith is like your ability to eat and swallow. Faith is a function of who you are. And the thing that's really important to understand that I have discovered in this work is that it's about the subtleties. It's literally about the soft energy. That's the feminine. It's not hard. It's not forcing. It's soft and subtle. And that's what faith is. It's just this knowing. It's like, I know, right? It's that. And Jupiter is in Aquarius. And the thing that's very significant to understand is how important it is to build our knowing, to come out of the space of believing and into the space of knowing. And knowing is a very different thing than believing. And Aquarius is where the knowing occurs. So Jupiter in Aquarius is asking, what do you know? What do you know, for sure? And it's a tricky kind of energy, because only you can know your path. This is why when I talk about this work, I teach it from my perspective, but I know that astrology is for everyone, but everyone's astrology is different. So your knowing is not like anyone else's knowing. So you can't look for affirmation from the world for your knowing. You have to look for affirmation from within you, from source, and it will bring it to you. So for me, for instance, I will have an idea of something that I know, and I will ask Spirit to help me have clarity around it. And then somebody will inevitably come into my life and say the very thing I'm working with. So that affirms it for me. That makes it knowing for me, because I'm working with Spirit. I'm working with the universe in the understanding of cycles and laws and how they all work to affirm my knowing. And Jupiter is at the 15th degree of Aquarius, and the 15th degree is about resistance. Now, here's the thing about resistance. Resistance is futile. Like, it's resistance. It builds muscle, it builds power, it builds strength, but eventually resistance will dissolve. But resistance helps you clarify your knowing. So when you meet people who don't agree with you or who don't get it or any of that, that's the resistance. And that clarifies your knowing, because you either fall off and move into their camp, or you clarify yourself. So I know, like, when I was a little girl, I was so clear that I didn't understand this Jesus thing. I really didn't. I didn't get it. But I did get love and faith and power and spirit. But soon my community, my environment wore down on me. And I soon began to believe in Jesus. The resistance beat me. And I spent, 30 years trying to undo that. So it's this, when you meet the resistance, do your best to ask Source to help you clarify your own knowing. That's what that is. And then the moon is in Leo today when I looked last, it was at the 15th degree, which is also resistance. So we're in that childhood energy, right? That childlike love, that childlike play, that childlike curiosity, that childlike creativity, right? And in resistance, it's just know that resistance is an opportunity to help you grow stronger. You don't have to fight with it. You don't have to make it wrong. You don't have to feel like it's negative or any of that, because it takes a negative charge and a positive charge to move anything forward. Negative and positive is just yin and yang, black and white, feminine, masculine, up and down, as within, so without. So don't like this idea where we are like, I got to get negative people out of my, no, no, you need negativity. You need it. It helps you build your power. It helps you build your knowing. It helps you build your strength. So stay with it. Don't give it up. So tonight begins the second cycle of rebirthing the authentic self. We are working with the subtle energies to open up the consciousness into the age of Aquarius. This work is really beautiful and profound. This month, I'm going to have Wayne Bird come and speak about community and how to create community, why we need community, friends, organizations, all those kinds of things. And then doing the work and the rituals to release those old packs, old patterns, and step into new ways that are going to help us really deeply transform. It's so important for us to understand that right now there's something very powerful happening on the planet, and the media is not talking about it because the media is not talking about it. But there's a shift happening, and the shift is towards sovereignty. And that means listening to yourself, knowing yourself, discovering yourself, following your own wisdom, cultivating, nurturing your own internal power. And if you're not being taught in the spaces that you're in how to do that, run, flee, because the old stuff isn't working any longer. It never really worked anyway, but it's really not going to be working any longer. So with that, I encourage you to join the rebirthing class. Tonight is our first class in the second cycle. This whole year is going to be so dope. I mean, it's amazing. I have so many incredible guest speakers, guest teachers, tools and resources that are going to be taught to help you really come home to yourself, because that's what it's all about. It's about you coming home to yourself. All right, peace and blessings. I am the Moon Mama. This Jupiter and Aquarius energy is asking you to come more powerfully into your knowing, right? And that might look like being really uncertain. Trust that. That's okay, because you have to let go of the old shit in order to find something else new to know. You have to let go of your old way of being. And our old way of being was all about conditioning into this capitalistic system. So that has to be released. And as you're releasing that, a new understanding will emerge through you. That's why I did the Mercury retrograde class on the vision, because you need a new vision to emerge in order for you to tap more powerfully into your knowing. So if you haven't taken the Mercury retrograde class, that's just a one-shot class. The Mercury retrograde energy is still here until March 13th. You can go sign up for that. It's just $66 and do the work of it, and you'll get to see or book a session with me or something like that, and I can help you work that out. Okay, peace and blessings. I'm the Moon Mama. Bye-bye.